When searching for a good bank, you have to be very discerning, so you don't get one thing and miss out on others. Well, your search is over at First Bank. We offer a variety of products and services made with you in mind. From flexible loans, easy access to cash, bill payments from anywhere in the world, to savings for the little ones. Make that switch today. Contact us to learn more about the many products and services we have designed for your convenience. First Bank, truly the first.
Crime Fighter, the searchlight on crime and criminality.
I want to use the opportunity to thank all Nigerians for their support, for their cooperation, for their partnership with the police throughout 2013, and I do hope that 2014 will be a better year in terms of crime and criminality and peace and stability of this country. With your cooperation, we can make it better.
Crime Fighters, promoting security consciousness. Exclusive interview.
If the interest of all the security agencies of Nigeria is to make Nigeria safe and secured, then we should abandon our organizational interest and take the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians at heart. Then Nigeria will be more safe and secure than ever before.
Crime Fighters, promoting security consciousness.
I know you are an officer that is passionate about addressing corruption for the mental rights of the suspects in the cell, not extorting money from complainants or from suspects. But you've done almost 2 years. Would you beat your chest to say you've been able to reduce corruption to the barest minimum? Because we know that it's something that you can't eradicate because it's inherent in some people, no matter what you do.
Oh yes, I will. With the loudest voice, I will. First of all, the first thing we did, was to abolish roadblocks. And I believe by roadblocks, 80% of corruption have been taken away from the police. Then we were settled with the responsibility of going to where? 3 places or 4. 1, police stations, area commands, state CID, zonal CID, and 4 CIDs. Along the roads, you will agree with me that this is one area that Nigeria have been harassed, intimidated, and coerced to pay dues that ordinarily they were not supposed to pay. Along the line, the doubted Thomases believe that we cannot do without roadblocks in this country, but today it's history and it's happening. The roads are much better police with less robberies and no corruption. I think we're the only management who has taken that bold step to say that no, things must change and must change for the better, because we must be able to reawaken and build an institution that can stand the test of time. And at the state CIDs and 4 CID and zonal CIDs, today we have been able to scrutinize and get officers that are worthy of being where they should be. Just because you are a policeman, you can be in the state CID, no. Aside from leadership, we say, okay, what do? All of you that are in the CID, we want to know whether you actually belong to the CID, whether you are desirable and by requirement you to be there. And we put the simple strategies that are supposed to be in place. Look at your person, look at who you are and what you are, and put you through the test of being an operative or being a detective. There is no way anybody who cannot read and write can become a detective. It's not, you can't be a policeman. It's not a possibility for you to be a policeman, because policing is not just about looking. It's all encompassing. It takes your mental ability and everything, and we weed them out. Sorry, you can't do it, because you have run through the simplest of tests. If you cannot define rape, then you cannot investigate rape, because the point to prove rape are there. If you cannot define theft, then you cannot investigate a case of theft, because you must be able to know the ingredients of theft or stealing for you to be able to get preponderance of evidence from the witnesses to say yes, A has committed that particular offense. And I'm happy we did that very well.
You did it across
Very well across the state CIDs. And today, you go to the first CID. From here, it will give an example of the sample of what you should get in the state CIDs. And we're managing that very, very well. And we periodically assess, unlike what we don't do before. If we give you a case to investigate, how far have you investigated that case? What level of success have you been able to do? And if, for example, you're a prosecutor and you go to court and you lose one case, you must be able to explain to us the technicalities of why that case was lost. But before, we lost the case, nobody's going to ask you questions, nobody's going to look at it. This time around, we want to know why. Because we cannot exhaust government public funds for nothing sake.
You've talked so much about what you've done, the policies you put in place. I've asked you these ones off the record when we had one-on-one chats, and all the gadgets that you're putting in place. We know that continuity is a problem in our nation. How would they be sustained after your exit?
We believe we're building officers and men who, through mentoring, to see what we do that are right. Probably we make mistakes, but they should look at those that we have done rightly and be able to improve on such things that will make the force much, much better for this force.
The reason I ask you this, we've had IGs who come and say roadblock dismantled, roadblock banned, roadblock will come back again, roadblock banned. And you've successfully done this for 23 months. The sustainability of this roadblock issue, is it possible? Okay. Is this something that another IG after you would want to sustain?
My answer is this take. What is roadblock for? If the IG who takes over after me or comes after me, professional police officer who has gone through the readings of the police and comparing policing in Africa or policing in Europe, what is roadblock for? Roadblock is a temporary measure where you put structures to be able to solve a particular incident. Thereafter, it's dismantled. And I used to say so. This is the only country of the world where roadblock has become permanent feature. You meander and you maneuver on the public highway before you passed on the road. So it will become increasingly very difficult for anybody tomorrow to come and say roadblock is bad with its bad menaces, because we have lost several number of people on roadblocks, innocent citizens who probably are not aware the roadblocks are there, or forgot the roadblocks were there, or the structures on the road are too many or so heavy that they cause accidents, several accidents. We equally as a service have lost several number of policemen on the roads. Why? Because they have been pushed by vehicle, mashed by vehicle, and several other things. And I think it's gone for good, and I think it should go for good forever. If today, with the challenges we have, it goes without it, and we're better for it, for anybody to come back and say that he needs roadblock back in this country, he'll be able to give reasons beyond doubt, convincing enough for Nigerians to say, oh yes, we agree with you, bring it back.
People feel the police don't want state police because they are a federal government agency benefiting from federal government. At the last scorecard session that you had in Asaba, you cited an example of why state police is not feasible now. You didn't say it's not possible forever. You gave example of the local government election where elections are conducted by the states, and so if we take that as an example, what they do, it means that if state police is allowed, is created, the states can also usurp that structure. The proponents of state police have also argued that the federal government is using the Nigeria police force in that wise for federal election. What's your take?
We have done an election in Edo. If federal government used the police, will the governor who is on the opposite party won? We have done an election in Ondo. It's a Labour Party. If federal government have used the police, will he have won? We have done another election in Anambra now. If the federal government has used, will Abga have won? They can say they abuse, provided this is what they want. But my stake is, we are not right for state police. And there are several reasons. And I have given you reasons. Now, let's take all these elections that I have even mentioned. Tell me any of these states that I mentioned, where local government election will be conducted and another party who is not in power will win. Because appointees of government by the state are the one conducting the election, and therefore the party officials in that state must win. And take, for example, look at the issue of what we had during the election in Anambra. 230 persons were arrested from Osun State with INEC ID cards, with some voters' cards. 230. For goodness sake, if we're a country of serious people where law and order is respected, what is these people leaving Osun State to Imo State for? Let's assume that there's a state police. Did you think the commissioner of police in Imo State, appointed by the governor of Imo State, will have arrested those people?
Yeah, but the federal police will be there. It's the responsibility of the federal police to check the excesses of the state.
I've asked one question. Those who are asking for state police are not asking for state police side by side with the federal government. They ask because all they want is the autonomy to be able to control the police in their states, in most cases. And I ask questions. There is no particular governor who has given a lawful instruction to the commissioner of police and it's not carried out. Unless you said, go and arrest ABCDZ, who has not committed any crime, the commissioner of police is not bound to take such orders.
Shall we take example of the River State issue, where the commissioner of police and the governor had a running battle? The governor alleged that he gave him a lawful order to go to the state assembly and provide security.
Was security not provided at the state assembly?
The governor says the commissioner...
You are talking about allegations, but the facts are there. So, but when you saw the governor in the state assembly, what happens? The essence of state policing is to make policing more effective in states. And it can still be done. What are we having in Lagos? State police? Is policing not effective? What are we having in Ogun? Is policing not effective? Take states that are very serious with the safety and life of the security of the life of their people. Any state government that is very serious with the social corporate responsibility of what they should do, because the primary essence of government is safety and security of the people. So any state that has this, you find that things work much better than they should. And I say that's an overtime thing. Maybe with time we'll be able to come back to the fact that yes, we will create state police. And take note, the fact that you create state police does not mean that members of the Nigeria police will not have job to do. Some of them probably will even go back to their states. It is not easy to run the state police. Most of these states that are crying for state police cannot fund the state police. That is one state people have not taken into consideration. Take Lagos. If the governor of Lagos give an example of how much money he spent on the police, or any governor who actually will buy 5,000 patrol vehicles and fold these vehicles for the whole month. Don't forget, at the time you have state police, the policemen in that state are not going to take the same salary that you are paying them today. They will want to unionize at the same time.
Yeah, is there any law that says that officers in the force cannot unionize?
Of course you cannot. It's a regimented force. So when there is a regimentation, you cannot talk about that. There are several issues, but I believe that time will come for state police. When the time is ripe, state police will take place and probably it will be better.
I know what CIB was. Apparently that was where I met you for the first time of my life. And you guys were doing wonderfully well until things, nosedived. Now, that system, I won't say it went moribund, but they weren't doing much until you came on board. These officers you're training today, you've sent them out to different countries. Some foreigners have also come into Nigeria to train them. But one very critical issue that the police has is the ability to keep officers in a particular section. It therefore means that most of them don't professionalize, apart from the medicals and maybe in transport. What are you doing to ensure that they don't migrate from the intelligence department to another department?
Once you're in the intelligence service, you remain an operative. If you are transferred from one intelligence department, you are going to another intelligence department. It was almost moribund, and that is part of the problem we suffered in the service. But we have done so much in that respect now that we're getting back much better on the ground, and I believe that more could be done, and we will not allow officers to migrate. The professionalism, you know, it's not too long ago we started from the Damadami report that we started professionalizing. So it's a time thing, even for officers to be able to find their feet, to know where they should key into based on their performances. This is what we are watching now, to see where can he perform. But for you to become a professional police officer, it's not a dormant thing in one place. Because if you become a specialist in, for example, investigation, and you are an ASP, you remain in investigation until you reach the rank of commissioner of police, you can't be there. Now, which means, even if you are there, because it's not one person, there are a group of number of persons.
Are you putting a template for a certain level of time and officers, and then they're transferred out of the section to go around? Yeah,
because you see, what we're doing now is, that's why we put a tenure for our officers to move around. We say in every 2 years, if you are in intelligence and you professionalize very well, and you are in Sokoto and you do very well, well, we said, probably we have challenges in Benin. And that's why in all these areas, like we're talking of kidnapping, we're talking of armed robbery, we're talking of terrorism, we're talking of cyber crime, we're talking of child abuse, we're talking of rape and what have you. All these areas of crime, we are conducting researches for us to be able to see where are these things there, why, what was happening, so that we can be able to use it to strategize for 2014 and beyond 2014. So officers will move around to be able to professionalize and become professional police officers. He's good in administration, he's good in operation, he's good, but not time period will come to say, this is where he's his best. Then we should be able to key him and become a professional in that particular aspect.
They say a journey of 1,000 miles starts one day. It's obvious from the feelers, and of course knowing what people is, that when elections are about to approach, we have some political gladiators, you know, coming up to ferment trouble. As a sitting IG now, what are you doing to ensure that you go back to the drawing board with your management and come up with a template for the 2015, of course from 2014 campaign starts?
That we are doing very seriously. I just want to keep to that, because you know what it is. We wouldn't want to throw it to the open, but that have been our thinking for a couple of months back. Don't forget that a lot of people will throw banters at us, because if we are to do to protect the corporate entity of Nigeria, definitely those who agree for one reason or the other, like you said, the political gladiators will want to use the opportunity to say, we have not done this, but we will not be distracted. A
department was created, which is a G department. A G department is in charge of computers and ICT in short. Yeah. ICT in First Headquarters is good. What happens to state commands? If you go to police stations, you still don't have computers. Some of these files, some of their job is still done on typewriter, going out to look for who to type and whatnot. What is the IG doing to ensure that the goodies that First Headquarters enjoy, these state commands are also carried along?
It's a time thing. I'm happy you say that you don't born a child today and the child start walking. It's a time thing. You remember that it is when we came on board, we initiated and introduced the ICT department, taking off with the challenges, setting off, strategizing. Up to today, we're looking at some of the duties being performed by them. There is a blueprint that the management is looking at very seriously, even though we looked at it before, but we're still fine-tuning to ensuring that all states are on board. You want to be able to see computers in all the police stations just like that, because computers are not just coming from up, they have to be purchased. And even in the best of the internet service that we have on companies, we still have problems in terms of service, because we don't have the best of providers as we think we have in this country, even though some will come and say this is the best of provider, but you still have interruption. Don't forget, it's only the police service that in every village, every hamlet you go, there is a police service. So before these things will go around to these places, it will take a number of time, but we're working on it. You can see from our public security system, which is part of the ICT department. From here, I can talk to every commissioner of police and see him facially and give instructions and even interview suspects from this office. So as far as I'm concerned, the ICT department is coming on very fruitfully on board with this result. And the cameras we are making efforts to ensure that all the states are being camerat so that the ICT department can be more functional than it is today. But we need money.
Lastly, sir, what do you want us to remember you for after your retirement? You've been an IG that came in at a very trying period of the Nigeria police force. What exactly do you think your men, Nigerian people, should remember you for?
For the conscious efforts I have made to improve on the service of the Nigeria police and the welfare and well-being of my officers and men.
All right. Sir, what is your take about crime fighters? On this note, we say thank you to the 16th Indigenous Inspector General of Police, MD ABUBAKAR, for granting us this very important interview. Viewers, I'm sure you would have enjoyed this interview and, taking some very key explanation that the IG has made. Thank you for being there for us all the time. Until we come your way again next time, I am still Aisha Tosan. Thank you very much.
Crime Fighters, the #1 security program on television.
When searching for a good bank, you have to be very discerning, so you don't get one thing and miss out on others. Well, your search is over at First Bank. We offer a variety of products and services made with you in mind. From flexible loans, easy access to cash, bill payments from anywhere in the world, to savings for the little ones. Make that switch today. Contact us to learn more about the many products and services we have designed for your convenience. First Bank, truly the first.
Police Brief.
Welcome to Crime Fighters Police Brief. These are the headlines. DIG's Marvel Akbuibo, Philemon Leha, retires from service. Lagos Police Command arrests suspects in connection with airport robberies. Details in a moment.
Police Brief.
The Inspector General of Police, MD ABUBAKAR, has commended DIG Marvel Akbuibo and DIG Philemon Leha for their dedication to the nation and service to the Nigeria Police Force. He made the remarks on Thursday in Abuja at the pulling out ceremony for the two members of the police management team who retired from the force after 35 years of service. IGP ABUBAKAR commended the officers for their professionalism, courage and tireless contributions to the police management and the success of the transformation agenda.
Today, it is befitting we honor these distinguished Deputy Inspectors General of Police whose life have been profound inspiration to us. Their brilliant contributions are accounted for the successes of the present police management and the present transformation in the Nigeria Police.
In his farewell address, DIG Akbuibo expressed gratitude to the IG and the management team for putting together an elaborate pulling out ceremony for them, while urging officers and men to continue the good works of maintaining internal security in the nation. DIG Marvel retired as head of the training department, while DIG Philemon Leha served as the head of the operations department.
It's time to plan and it's time to plug up that.
The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed ABUBAKAR, has promised justice and fairness to all parties in the investigation of the alleged shooting of Senator Magnus Abe by the police in Port Harcourt last Sunday. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Frank Mba, on Wednesday in Abuja said the IGP has directed a special team of investigators from the Force Criminal Investigation Department, headed by Commissioner of Police Idris Farouk, to visit the scene of the incident and interview all the relevant parties. The statement said the team would interview the organizers of the event, police officers and other key witnesses to obtain a full and unbiased account of the incident that could aid the investigation. The IGP called on the people of Rivers State to cooperate with the investigative team and shun all inflammatory statements while going about their lawful businesses peacefully. The Lagos State Police Command has paraded a 30-year-old man, Samuel Mayegun aka Ashiwaju, alleged to be a key suspect in various robberies at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Ikeja, in 2012 and 2013. Addressing newsmen at the command on Tuesday, Commissioner of Police Umar Manko said following intelligence reports, the suspect Ashiwaju and 4 other gang members, namely Abiodun Adebayo, Ibrahim Sado, Ezekiel Anthony, Femi Oshielu, were apprehended as they plotted another robbery attack in Ikorodu. The suspect Ashiwaju confessed to the robberies and revealed that he got the sum of 45 million naira after one of the operations. Items recovered from the suspects include 1 general-purpose machine gun, 1 AK-47 rifle with 8 fully loaded magazines, 2 double-barrel locally made pistols, 10 general-purpose magazines fully loaded, and 32 live cartridges. And on the global update, the police in Delhi, India have arrested 4 men in connection with the gang rape of a Danish woman. The 51-year-old victim was allegedly attacked by a gang of 8 men on Tuesday evening after losing her way back to a hotel in Pahanjang. According to the police, the victim, who was both robbed and beaten, was held by her attackers for 3 hours but later abandoned. All 8 men have been identified. Delhi police said they recovered an iPod, hair plug, mobile phone and other valuable items from the suspects. And that is all on Crime Fighters Police Brief.
Crime Fighters, promoting security consciousness.
When searching for a good bank, you have to be very discerning, so you don't get one thing and miss out on others. Well, your search is over at First Bank. We offer a variety of products and services made with you in mind. From flexible loans, easy access to cash, bill payments from anywhere in the world, to savings for the little ones. Make that switch today. Contact us to learn more about the many products and services we have designed for your convenience. First Bank, truly the first.